Hello all, Elliot here. This week's message is going to spend a bit of time focusing on our building safety programme. Many of you will be familiar with the tragic events of the Grenfell Tower fire in 2017, and that event, as tragic as it was, sparked a massive reaction nationally in terms of building safety, building regulation, and the inquiry into that event and the events that led up to that tragic event still continue today. There are a lot of lessons that need to be learnt from that. We're learning a lot of those now. We're implementing a lot of the changes that are required, and there's a lot more regulation coming our way in terms of what we must do and requirements we need to satisfy to ensure that we can satisfy a regulator and also our residents that they're living in safe and secure accommodation. We're very quick off the mark in terms of the post-Grenfell sort of response. We acted very quickly to strip off cladding in the Grenfell Towers in 2017. And then we built a programme of £52 million worth of improvement works to our highest risk stock, high-rise buildings, sheltered housing schemes, the hostels, and some others. We've been delivering that programme over the last sort of 3 or 4 years. The pace has been extremely good, given all the challenges that we've had over that period of time. COVID in the middle of it, not least. We're in our last year, just started our last year of that main programme, £52 million worth of delivery. And that's included a range of things which the team are going to take you through today: sprinklers, alarms, compartmentation works, and this is all about ensuring that residents are safe in their homes and feel that they're safe in their homes. And if we're going to achieve our vision for our customers to be our greatest advocates, this is one of the most integral tenets to doing that.
Hello, one of Barnet Homes' key objectives is to keep residents safe and secure in their homes. Inevitably, this involves quite a lot of coordination amongst the teams to deliver what we have to deliver. What follows here is a short film from our fire safety team describing some of the projects they've delivered over the last year. Thank you.
This is a large piece of work we do across the organisation, and it involves from basic requirements to removing materials and items stored in the communal areas to replacing fire doors and wider fire safety components.
Post the disaster at Grenfell Tower, the fire safety team has moved up and expanded its operations. We're now installing sprinkler systems and new fire alarm detection throughout our housing stock, taking the priorities on the high-rise tower blocks, 15 stories high, and then we're working through the rest of the housing stock, reviewing all of the safety and fire precautions.
I'm currently running the fire door replacement project for the borough, replacing all the non-compliant doors for FT30 compliant doors, and the project's nearly complete. I've also completed 8 sheltered schemes, installing sprinkler systems, compartmentation works and fire doors.
I've been involved in Prospect Ring, Norfolk Close, 3 tower blocks there, along with Granville Road, another 3 tower blocks there, and they're all basically had the same works: new fire doors, new sprinkler system, improved smoke alarm and fire compartmentation. So this basically is the new cupboard we had to build to accommodate the sprinkler valve, and as you can see, this will go all the way up the property, up each floor, and then it tees off around the floor and goes into each individual property. Communal doors as well. The previous ones didn't comply with the fire regulations, so we had to replace all these doors, all 60-minute fire safety and all self-closing. Finished, you can see the boxing in has been completed, so it's hiding all the pipework, cables, all around here. Got new signage at low level in all our high-rise blocks. We're putting these numbers at low level purely to smoke. If there's any bit filled up with smoke, it will rise to the ceiling. But this will, with the aid of emergency lighting, this will glow in the dark as such.
Yeah, obviously working with the residents, because a lot of our sprinkler systems have to invade the properties and the people's homes. but we've been quite lucky on most of our blocks. The 3 major blocks I started with, we've managed to get 100% access. Even empty properties and leasehold properties have been very cooperative, thanks really to a good deal of excellent resident liaison work and explaining why the need for the work was required. And we've been very lucky with most of the jobs where people have understood the systems and the need for additional fire precautions. The preconceptions of an American movie where one sprinkler head bursts out and the rest of the warehouse is completely covered was the main belief of all of our residents, and until we spoke to them close up and showed them the real facts of how a sprinkler system operates, it put everybody's mind at rest, because they still have this viewpoint of Bruce Willis running through a warehouse covered in water, and it just doesn't happen that way.
Working with the residents has actually been quite interesting. My first project was here at Vale Court doing the fire safety, so it was one of the first projects we done with the sprinkler systems. I was actually surprised myself at how neat and small the actual sprinkler heads were, so that was a massive selling point for the residents. How did you find them, Marcy? Collette?
Yes, I mean it has been quite interesting. My first project was slightly different to Angela's. I was working with the replacement FED 30 fire doors, so it was a little bit more varied. I was seeing more general needs residents rather than kind of sheltered accommodation.
And on yours?
Yeah, the residents are happy that they have that person that they can have a conversation with about concerns, times that they want the works to start during the holidays, children, school runs, somebody that's disabled that might not be able to be ready at 8 o'clock. It's just having that go-between the contractors and the residents to have that communication going and flowing very well.
Yeah, I think initially the response wasn't that positive, but once the residents were kind of made aware that the work wasn't going to be so extensive, they were a lot happier, and being able to kind of facilitate that communication between the fire safety team and the residents did help alleviate kind of a lot of those stresses.
Hello, my name's Jason Oakford. I work for Vallectric. We undertook the refurbishment works here at Vale Court. This is a sheltered accommodation in Barnet. Okay, so within Vale Court, we did a total refurbishment of the communal areas, which is all the electrical wiring plus the lighting, and in this case we even put up a new false ceiling. Within the ceiling there's a new smoke detection system, there's sprinkler systems, which is seen as a very sort of hidden cap, but that is the new sprinkler system we've put in. We put emergency exit lighting, which tells you the way to evacuate the blocks, and we've also put in new FD60 fire communal door sets, certified, which self-close on the activation of the fire alarm system. On the flats, when we did the flats, unfortunately we're not going in a flat, we did a total rewire of each flat, which included the installation of the sprinkler systems, new smoke detection system. We also undertook a new wall and cool system installation and the access control system. So we changed the way that you get in and out of the block with a newer system with video entry. On the walls, so the decoration to the walls is all Class O. So it's been Class O decorated, and Class O is a type of paint that minimises the spread of flames in the case of a fire. At certain points within the block, we put up new exit doors with automated closers which sit above it. So when you need to exit the block, you push the button, and the door opens and allows access. Outside, there is a new water storage tank just behind the wooden fence, which is for the sprinkler system.
We normally consult with leaseholders under the section of the consultations. We provide them with details of the work, descriptions of the work, estimated costs, etc., etc., and we remain the first point of contact for leaseholders during the process.
So if there's any queries, observations, any details that they need about the proposed works, the contract that we're procuring, then we would be their first point of contact to give them any information or raise queries on their behalf.
Hi, I'm Ben Harrow. I'm an apprentice for Barnet Homes. basically I've been shadowing my project managers and RLOs, so I've been getting to know about the fire safety works across the whole of the borough, and I get to liaise with the residents to see if everything's going accordingly, and I'm quite enjoying myself, to be honest, and I've learned quite a lot.
So I hope you found that informative. It's really impressive to see the amount of work that the team's got through over the last few years. Our buildings, our homes for our residents are so much safer than they were before. I'd just like to say a massive thanks to the team that have been involved in this, those that put the program together initially, those that have been delivering the program and continue to do so. And one thing I'd really like to sort of just emphasise is how important it is to engage residents in the process. And I think we've done that extremely well. The resident liaison, the project management, how the contractors have worked together to engage residents early on in the piece to ensure that they're aware of what the works are for, why we're doing them, how they'll make them safer, and how we're going to limit and minimise any disruption to them living in their homes as we do the works, because the work is significantly disruptive in many cases. So thanks very much to everyone involved. It's been a great effort. We're by no means finished. We've got a lot more to do in our medium and low-rise stock and to continue to manage the high-risk stock, but we're in a much better place than we were before, and I think we're kind of leading the way in many respects. So thanks to all. Hope you enjoyed it.